Good afternoon, Fair Game Laguna. Tom Johnson, along with our mayor, Sue Kempf. Good afternoon, Sue.
Good afternoon, Tom. Good to be with you.
I almost said good morning, but it's a beautiful day out there, which brings me kind of to our first subject is, we had a lot of rain this past winter. It's been sunshiny and hot, which means things are drying out. Are we prepared in town for the upcoming fire season that's bound to come?
Right. Yeah. So we're on track with our goats. They're out doing their thing. I've seen them in, I don't know how many locations around town, maybe 4 or 5. So they're busy and, what a wonderful job to eat, spend your day eating. We guess we all wish we could do that.
Yeah.
But we are having, speaking of fire, we are having a fire department open house on July 24th. It's from 4 to 6 and that's at the Laguna Beach Community and Recreation Center. And so we're going to have, the goats are going to be there, speaking of the goats. And we're going to have a CERT table. New city manager Dave Kempf will be there. People can meet him, get a chance to talk to him. We're going to talk about evacuation and fire preparedness. So I think it'd be a really good event. People can stop by and get themselves educated in terms of what they need to do to harden their own homes.
Good. It's always an important subject, especially in a town like Laguna with, that little enclave that's surrounded by that dry brush. So
along those lines too, Tom, is I had a meeting, legislative update with Diane Dixon yesterday, and she's going to be having an open house on homeowner insurance. It's a town hall basically, and it's going to be at SoCA on July 30th from 4 to 5. And so you have to register. You can do that via QR code. Maybe we can put that in Stu News, but we'll also put it in our newsletter so people can attend if they like. She said they typically get 100 to 300 people, so it's pretty well attended. And then in parallel, I know Cassie and our staff have been working on getting our own town hall with Insurance Commissioner Laura. And so we're working on that to see, when we could do that. And we probably have to get a pretty large venue because I would expect a pretty good turnout. So, along the lines of fire safety, insurance kind of goes hand in hand. And we want to get communication out to the residents and educate everybody where we kind of are in the insurance industry.
Okay, good stuff.
Yep.
Also around town, another issue that has, popped up is the Kroger Albertsons merger has actually touched Laguna Beach in that they're going to, in order to try to get the merger through, they're going to try to get rid of 166 stores to CNS Wholesale, and it would affect the pavilions in town. What have you heard on that?
We haven't heard anything at all, and I know this makes people uneasy, and in particular since we don't have Gelson's in the south part of the town anymore. I did talk to, there's 2 property owners in the Aliso Creek Shopping Center. One property owner has the preponderance of the center, and then there's another carve-off for the Gelson side. So, I have reached out to Gelson's a number of times, called their corporate offices. I know our city manager has as well. I went down to the Monarch Beach store a couple weeks ago and tried to get the number for their property management. I did get his number, called him several times. He hasn't responded, but we are going to be talking to the property manager for that parcel as well. So we'll see what we can learn. I think they're looking for a big box retailer there, but I don't know who that would be. And maybe they don't want to disclose that, or maybe they're working on it, which I think is probably likely since they still hold the lease. But, more to come on that. But I want the community to know that we are looking into that and trying to see what we can ascertain from Gelson's on that.
Okay. The festivals are underway. And I've heard some great things. I heard one report that a lot of art is moving out, that they're selling some of the stuff that's good for them. That's why they're there. You've probably been to both of them. Why don't you give us a report, first of all, on, what you saw walking around the grounds and enjoying things, and then have you heard anything about the artists?
Well, I'm on the festival board as mayor, and the mayor always has a position on the festival board. So we had a meeting last week. The artists are selling a lot of art at the festival. And I walked around, they have, some of the art that's been sold has red dots. There's a lot of red dots. It's really impressive. And I feel great for the artists. The sawdust, I think, is also doing fine. I was there during opening day. I haven't been back there since that day, but I did get a chance to walk around and look at all the artist offerings. There's some really beautiful work there. So, it's not as crowded there. I think maybe they don't have quite as many artists, maybe by choice. So it feels nice and open there, and so you can really get a chance to see all the work. And I have, several friends that, exhibit their art there, and so I just encourage people to get out there and support our local artists. They really need it, and this is what we're all about in Laguna Beach.
Well, it's funny. I just had family visiting a week ago, and they came down. They took an Airbnb, and they said, what's there to do? And the first thing that comes to mind is you need to go to Laguna Beach and go to the festival. So
Right.
everybody should be talking them up. It's good stuff, and there's nothing better than helping our artists that are so committed. And it's so good to hear that they're moving their pieces. So
Yep. We also have the art in public places on the lawn.
right.
Those crows, it's called attempted murder. And we dedicated those. We met the artist last week. And I've I'm in and out of Laguna and downtown all the time. I've seen a lot of people taking photographs and selfies and stuff. It's entertaining. It's another really good piece of work by our cultural arts department and Sean Poschel
Kind of brings you
and
back
our
to
arts commission.
a Hitchcock,
Yeah,
with bird,
it's
but
kind of creepy. I was thinking, you walk by that thing at night, like, what the heck is that? What's going on? But
well,
it is pretty impressive. They each weigh 1,000 pounds.
wow. And the interesting part of that is you put the you put it up at City Hall at probably the most inopportune time when you're talking about, a group of crows are called a murder. And, with everything that's happened on the national scene and everything like that, I went to put something in Stu News last week, and it was like, oh my gosh, how do I handle this situation? So
Well,
it was a little challenging there, but that's
they
what
look,
they're called.
they look pretty menacing. I mean, one's kind of crouched down, the other one's kind of, standing up a little bit. Looks like either one of them are very happy with each other.
Yeah. Well, Sue, I appreciate you taking your time. Keep the people of Laguna Beach up to date. We'll be back next week with more of Fair Game Laguna. Get out there and enjoy yourselves.
Thanks, Tom. Good to be with you.